So if I wanted to lose the type of weight that lasts forever in 2026 without restricting myself from my favorite foods, this is exactly what I would do. Here's the full blueprint. The first thing that I would consider doing would be to join my Transformation Accelerator program. If you go to foodlovevip.com, I only accept 100 people at a time, and everybody gets my WhatsApp number, and I virtually guarantee everybody's weight loss success. And the next one is going to be January 1st of 2026, and the next one after that, and last one is going to be July 1st of 2026. So to start with, the best thing that you could possibly do first, that's what I would do. Go to foodlovevip.com and grab one of those 100 spots, and I'll help you do it together. Sometimes I flip on the video camera and I go into my kitchen and we work things out, and it's really the most intensive and shortcutting and virtually guaranteed thing that I've ever been a part of, and it's been massively rewarding. That's the first thing that I do. But if that's something that you're not able to do right now, I totally understand. This is what I would do. Number one, pick up a copy of my book. Just get it on Amazon so you can use it as a reference. So everything that I'm going to explain to you right now, you'll be able to refer back to in the book. The book's like $10. I make like $3 on it. So I'm not trying to have you spend money that you shouldn't. It's really important to have this reference. So the first thing that I want you to understand on how you lose the forever weight in 2026 is that you always have to eat the food that you love. The area of food has 3 areas. There's the biochemical area, there's an emotional area, and there's a psychological area. And all the popular diets that you see out there, they focus only on the biochemical area. What biochemical diet is best for weight loss? Is it vegan? Is it carnivore? Is it vegetarian? Is it keto? Is it ice hack? Is it name them? And I've tried many of them, especially in the mid-90s when I started on my weight loss journey, and they all focus on the biochemical. Here's the problem. Here's why 99% of people will exit their diet before the 6-month mark. Because emotionally and psychologically, they can't handle being without their favorite foods. So any of these diets will work for short-term weight loss. That's not a problem. Pick one, they'll work. If you have a short-term goal that you're going for, whether it's to lose weight to fit into a wedding dress or to look better at the beach in the summertime, or to make your ex-spouse or ex-boyfriend or girlfriend jealous, or whatever the motivation is, these diets can definitely work for that. But why they don't work in the long run is people hate being restricted from their favorite foods or food group. If they go into a keto thing, they hate being restricted from pasta, rice, potatoes, things like that. And if they go more in the vegetarian, vegan direction, maybe they miss eating meat and seafood and chicken and things like that. So short term, any of these diets can work. Why they don't work in the long run is because you have to eat your favorite foods for them to work. If you're tired of diets that force you to give up your favorite foods in order to lose weight, only to put all that weight back on once you quit that diet, then I invite you to try my completely free online program that will help you lose your first 10 to 15 pounds without giving up the foods that you love. So head on over to foodloveonline.com and get started with us today. No credit card is needed. This is a completely free online program. Even if you're incredibly busy or incredibly lazy and nothing else has worked for you in the past, this can work for you. In 3 short videos, I will take you by the hand and get you on the road to losing weight, and most importantly, happily keeping it off forever. So head over to foodloveonline.com and I'll see you over there. And why Food Love works so well for people that hate restricting themselves from their favorite foods is that the emotional and the psychological end up being first on the list, because we are actually using your favorite foods as a gateway to get to the biochemical formula that's going to work best for you for weight loss. The next thing that I would do to lose a lot of weight in 2026 is to realize that the area of food was not given an instruction manual. Just like parenting and relationships and a lot of other areas, we weren't given a specific roadmap. This is how you should eat. This is how our body functions. This is how our body digests certain foods and metabolizes certain foods. We're just born where we're born, and we eat how the people in our household eat, and that's pretty much all we learn about food. We just learn by seeing what everyone is doing around us. And especially in the United States, the different combinations of food that we have a lot of bread with protein and with fats, and we have certain combinations that other countries don't have. And I lived in Mexico for 15 years, and if you see the average person walking around there isn't the amount of obesity there, and it's dramatically less than what it is here in the United States. And they still love their food and eat a lot of food, but the food combinations that they have culturally work a lot better, and the body metabolizes the food a lot better. So because there isn't an instruction manual for the area of food, we have to see what actually works. So if we take the most popular diet books from the past 30 years, whether it's the vegan and vegetarian MDs or the more keto carnivore based MDs, the one thing that they all have in common is they're all huge fans of greens and vegetables. And so the keto carnivore MDs will put high quality meat, chicken, fish on top of salads and vegetables, and the vegan and vegetarian will do pasta and different plant-based foods on top of salads. And in both cases, our body can more easily digest and metabolize those foods. So I came up with something in Food Love that's been working for me for many years, and I call it This and That's. What you're going to do is you're going to start with your favorite food, take a favorite concentrate, and put that on top of a salad. And if you do that for your 2 meals, your body is going to be able to process and metabolize that food so much easier, and your senses aren't going to feel that you're being restricted from a food or a food group. And what we want to do over time is just slowly increase the quality of the concentrate that we're putting onto the salads. And that's how we get short-term and long-term weight loss. With all amazing things, there's always a VIP pass, like flying first class or getting those cut the line passes at an amusement park or gaining backstage access at a rock concert. So I wanted to offer you Food Love's VIP experience. We have 2 options that allow you to get your answers directly from me, so I can hold your hand every step of the way and virtually guarantee your weight loss success. One option offers weekly support through a Q&A call, while the other option offers you direct access to me for a full 6 months through my WhatsApp number. Both options can help you shortcut your weight loss transformation tremendously. You can choose the one that makes the most sense for you by heading over to foodlovevip.com. Once again, that's foodlovevip.com. Back to the show. The next thing that I would do is I'd focus on finding a super yummy, nutrient-dense breakfast to start off with. I start off with a morning smoothie, and I feel like $1,000,000 afterwards. It tastes really good. It's really good and fast for me to make, and I can bring it with me in my car or whatever I have to do, or if I'm working at home. And that's something that's worked for me for a long time. But there's a lot of super yummy, nutrient-dense options that you can choose from, and I give about 6 or 7 examples in Food Love, and I give some free bonus videos with the book that I go into greater detail about breakfast options. And if you start off your day feeding your cells, where your cells are happy because they're getting a nutrient-dense breakfast, then the rest of your day is so much easier. And then when you get to your this and that meals, they end up being such a treat because you're having your favorite foods on top of a salad. You're full afterwards, but also you don't feel that normal crap food sluggish that people will feel after having a meal that's not so good for them. So you get the super yum, and then you get the good energy and good positive physical feeling in your body as well. So you're feeling good physically, emotionally, and psychologically after your meals. The The next thing that I focus on to lose a lot of weight in 2026 is plan, plan, plan. Any area of our life that we put some time and we pay attention to and we plan, whether it's with our kids, our relationships, our finances, our jobs, they tend to work out better. If we're just winging it in any of those areas, we're asking for disaster. So what's important with food, just like any other important area of life, is that we have to know what our morning meal is going to be, what our mid-morning snack is going to be, what we're doing for lunch, afternoon snack, dessert, before bed snack, are people that have some consistency to their schedule, people that are waking up more or less the same time, going to bed more or less the same time, because then they can plan and have consistency with their meals. Now, even with people that have a consistent schedule, my schedule is pretty consistent, but when I wake up some days, I don't always want to have my morning smoothie. Sometimes I don't feel like having anything, or I'll feel like having some egg whites and some of my veggie sausages or whatever. I'll just have a piece of fruit. I go all over the place. And so I really want to start my day with some nutrient-dense food. I know that helps me a lot throughout the rest of the day, but I also need that freedom where if I'm really not feeling it, and sometimes in the winter months when it's really cold, having something cold and fruity in the morning, it's not the easiest thing in the world, then I'll have what I need to have. I'll have something warm first, and then I'll have the smoothie at work or on my way to work, or I kind of work with the different things. But the more planning and more consistency that we have in our schedule, the easier it is to eat for energy and eat for entertainment, which I'll explain about in a second. But what happens is, because we're waking up consistently and also going to bed consistently, for people that go to bed, say between 9 and 10:30, you're probably going to get hungry again after dinner. So having a plan and having options, because you can't just say, I'm going to have edamame. I'm going to have these salted soybeans before going to bed because I want to have something salty and they're packed with protein and they taste really good. There's going to be a time when you don't feel like having that. And so you need to have lots of different options. And sometimes I just grab one of my son's 160 calorie bags of Doritos and I have that with a couple of pickles. And I feel like I'm having kind of like a sandwich deal without the calories, without the sandwich, because when we're eating at nighttime, it's really silly to have a lot of calories because we don't need that fuel to keep going. Calories are about energy. They are the fuel that we need in order to operate. So to have like 1,000 calories right before going to bed is really pointless because you don't need that energy. But very often we need something salty or we need something sweet. And so you can have something that's very calorie efficient and not have 1,000 calorie pint of Ben & Jerry's. Or you can have something that's calorie efficient like I did. I mean, just the little bag of Doritos for 160 calories and some pickles. I mean, that's nothing. My body can deal with that in the night. And usually before going to bed, I'm just going to have an apple or a banana, something really, really simple. But I just kind of in the habit of having something before going to bed. Sometimes I'll make myself some popcorn or just something like really, really basic, but I understand I don't need the fuel. I don't need to put 1,000 calorie microwavable dinner in because I'm feeling something salty. So being able to plan and understanding what we need during the day and why we don't need things late at night, then we don't feel restricted. We don't feel deprived in any single way. And if you can put together all of those things that I've explained, which is pretty much 50 to 60% of food love without all the little details, if you can put all of that together, you're going to lose a ton of weight. And what you're going to see is that you're going to happily keep it off. That's the most important thing. And there are going to be times when you're going to put some weight on. Doesn't matter because you know how to take it off. We need to be pros at putting weight on, which most of us are already. And we have to be pros at how to easily take it off. And I go into greater detail in my book, in my VIP courses. So the deeper that you want to go or the faster the transformation that you need will kind of gauge where you want to get your information from. I have tons of free information out on the internet. I have a podcast, I have YouTube videos, I have a book for $10. I have a monthly thing that's like $50 where you can get your questions answered every single week. I have a more intensive program. I have a lot of different options. So if you want more attention and more more implementation, we have it all the way from free to my highest level program, which is the Transformation Accelerator program, which is very, very cool. If you go over to foodlovevip.com, you can check that out. I just take a group of 100 people and work intensely with that group of 100 people to get the transformations that they need. They can contact me whenever they want through my WhatsApp. It's pretty cool. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and head on over to the next one, because I'm sure I'm going to complement a lot of the things that we talked about here in this one, because there's other areas like R&D and understanding once you hit your target weight that it's okay to go up 5, 10, or even 15 pounds. It's to be expected, because no one loses weight, hits their target weight, and then just magically stays at that number. That's not humanly possible. And so we don't ever want to throw in the towel when we start gaining 5 or 10 pounds, because we know why we're doing it, how it's happening, and we also know that we can take it off again. I'll see you in the next video.